Good morning, YouTubians. It's Kermit's Ghost, and we're dealing with the L's today in the collection. Just gonna have a quick sip. Okay, there are 160, about 160 L's. Here we go. Quite a few, so let's get through it quite quickly. Labor Day. This is Kate Winslet and Josh Brolin. He is a fine actor, as is she. Labyrinth, I finally caved and got it. Yes, Dave Bowie. Do you say Bowie or Bowie? I think it's pronounced Bowie. I think, no, who knows? And Jennifer Connelly. LA Confidential. This has got a great cast in it. Kevin Spacey. Okay, maybe not so great. No, he's a good actor. Well, was a good actor. Kevin Spacey. You've got Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, brilliant. Put my teeth in. Kim Basinger, Danny DeVito. Yes, Basinger. That's how she pronounced that. Out of 49. This is a good movie. Joaquin Phoenix, John Travolta. I enjoyed this one. Sort of along the lines of Backdraft. That sort of thing. Sort of life in the... is it New York? Just say, for example, it's life of a firefighter in a city. Lady and the Tramp. One of the better films of Disney's classics, number 15. Love this movie. Got a little bit of Christmas theme at the end as well. Lady Bird. Now, how do you say that? Is it Saoirse Ronan? Saoirse Ronan? I think it's Saoirse Ronan. I don't know if I like her actor. I know LJ is one of his favourite actresses, but I don't know. Something about her. Apparently she lives, as well, lived, in a place called Worthing, which is about 12 miles from where I live, apparently, because she used to go to like a video rental store there. Lady Hawk, bought this for the cast, and what a strange cast to be working together. Matthew Broderick, Rutger Hauer, and Michelle Pfeiffer. Strange cast. Lady in a Van. This is I love this film. I think this was available in a pound shop as well for a while. Just a great movie, I think. And Maggie Smith. The story of it's the Lady in the Van. It's Alan Bennett. He moves into a house. I think it's in Bristol. I'm pretty sure it is. And this old woman just pulls up in his driveway and lives out of her van in his driveway, and he just can't get rid of her. And then it's like a relationship between them, and it's played brilliantly by Maggie Smith and Alex Jenkins as Alan Bennett. That's it. I can think of his name as Alan Bennett. Just a really nice story. Unbelievable, really good. The Lady Killers. This was remade later with Tom Hanks, and I really want that film because believe it or not, I enjoyed that film. But this is the better version, obviously. It's is this an Ealing? Yeah, Ealing Studios put this together, and it's got such a good cast: Alec Guinness, Peter Sellers, Herbert Lom. Let's just name a few. Just pure class, heist movie. And it's played a little bit more serious than the Tom Hanks version. Lady in the Water, M. Night Shyamalan, and I absolutely love this movie. I don't know what people's problem with it. It's a really good film. I think people were expecting way too much on M. Night. That's a good movie. You're wrong, people. It's good. Lady Macbeth. The Lady Vanishes. This is a really good... I like this version. There's another version with Sybil Shepherd, which is good as well, but this is a good version. Margaret Lockwood. Michael Redgrave. Just... pure class. Alfred Hitchcock. I don't know why it came in a slim case. It wasn't part of a set or anything. It's just like a standalone release. But very, very good. Laggies. This was... I think this has got a different title in the States or in the UK, because this is an Australian import. Laggies. Keira Knightley, you are by every film that she's in. Chloe Grace Moretz and Sam Rockwell. There's a cast for you. The Lake House, kind of like a time travel movie of such. Sandra Bullock lives in the lake house, and Keanu Reeves lives in the lake house, just in different periods of time, and they're communicating with each other via letter. I can't remember how it worked now. He must have posted a letter and then put it in the letterbox thing outside that you have in America, and then she received the mail. But it overlaps as well, so it's a good film. It's a good, I'd say it's a sci-fi romance. Lake Placid. I don't think this has got a UK release. This is a German release, hence the sticker thing or the printed thing. It's such a good film, such a dark comedy. You can turn the art around so you don't have, I don't know if you can see that, you don't have the age rating on it, but I kind of like the age rating on it. I don't know why. Picture disc. It's a story. It's like Jaws, but with an alligator, or is it a crocodile? I never tell the difference between a crocodile and an alligator. Bill Pullman is just so funny, and it's quite jumpy in places. Not for young kids. Well, 16. It's a good film. Check it out. Lakeview Terrace. I watched this maybe about a month ago because I hadn't seen it for a long time, and this is quite a tense film. It's got, is it Peter? No, not Peter. Patrick Wilson in this. Just really good. This a mixed race couple move into this neighbourhood, and their neighbour, a nightmare neighbour, played by Samuel Jackson, doesn't like the idea of this white guy with a black girl, so he sort of terrorises them. Just a total arsehole. And he's like a local sheriff or a local cop or something, LAPD officer, and that's it. He's just an absolute nightmare to them, and it's about how they retaliate and pull up with his crap. La La Land. Yeah, everybody knows about La La Land. Land of the Lost. I'm not a big fan of, what's his name? Will Ferrell or Danny McBride, or even, what's her name? I forget her name. Anna Friel, like a TV actress in the UK. That's how she started out. But they work really well together, and this is such a funny film. I think this would have been a lot better in 3D as well, and the big T-Rex that sort of holds a grudge. Just really cool. Laputa, Castle in the Sky. This is part of the Studio Ghibli. I have them all. I will show them as one big series thing. This is number 6. Yeah, Studio Ghibli. Larry Crown. I saw this at the cinema, and I can't remember a great deal about it. I know he's like, he enrolls into a local college to start his life over, and that's all I really remember about this. So I need to watch this again. It's been a long time. But look at that cover while I take a drink. It's a good cover, wasn't it? Last Action Hero. Yeah, Arnold Sweaty Knickers. I love this. I absolutely adore this. I saw this at the cinema. Shows you how old I am. 1993. Oh, don't show how old I am then. Just a really fun film. He takes the mick out of himself, and that's what I like. He doesn't take himself too serious, and like when he's playing Hamlet, and it's just funny. If you don't know the story, he's playing. Well, he's an actor. He's in like in cinema world, if you like, and a boy crosses over the fourth wall into the cinema world, and he thinks he's this big action hero, which he is he's the last action hero. But the kid knows that he's just in a film, and there are actual dangers, rather not just like movie dangers. Last Airbender. Now I did have this in 2D, but I upgraded, believe it or not, to 3D, and I've got the 2D version in there as well as the 3D version. I haven't seen it since I saw it at the cinema, and I remember it not being that great, but I think the 3D was like £1, so yeah, go for that. Go for it. Never know, taste change. Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans in The Last Boy Scout. Quite possibly Bruce Willis's best films. He's a private detective in this, and Halle Berry's in this for a very short period. I think it's one of her first films that she was in, and she plays like a stripper, pole dancer kind of thing, exotic dancer, and a hit's been put out on her. She dies. Her boyfriend, it's not a spoiler really, her boyfriend Damon Wayans wants to investigate why she was killed, and Bruce Willis is sort of roped in. He's protecting her, but obviously she gets killed, so he sort of like has a debt of gratitude to Damon there to find out what happened. Last Chance Harvey. This is a good film. Emma Thompson, Dustin Hoffman in kind of like a rom-com kind of thing, more like a rom drama. It's not really that much of a comedy, but it's a good film. Steve, Casher One, you did again. You sent me this. We did the trade. Movie Club exclusive. This is The Last Flight of Noah's Ark. Elliot Gould. Love these films. Love the old Disney films. Grew up on Disney films. Live action. I do love the live. I think I prefer the live action ones, the old ones, over the classics, but it's an equal joint first place. The Last King of Scotland. I saw this at the cinema, and this made me feel really uneasy. That Forrest Whitaker as Eddie Amin just done it perfectly. The tension made me feel quite uncomfortable watching it. Last Nights. This is Morgan Freeman and Clive Owen. It's an old period film. Yes, Last Man Standing. This is not one of his best, but this is a good film, and it's a great death scene in this, where the bloke gets blown away with a shotgun. Just wow. Yeah, I enjoyed this one. It's got Christopher Walken in this as well. Trying to see who else is in it. I would recognise. There's nobody other than Bruce Willis, Alexander Powers, David Patrick Kelly. David Patrick Kelly rings a bell. But it's a good film. I think it's set around like Prohibition era, if I remember rightly. Good movie. And to get it as a standalone, I think this is available in the US as like a double feature thing. But if you want a standalone, I don't think it's available in the UK. But because I bought this like years ago, so it might be by now. Last Movie Star, again a German release. They seem to get so many good releases, and Burt Reynolds, Chevy Chase, Last Movie Star. Last Night, bought this because Keira Knightley. Simple as that. Sam Worthington in this. Does he act anymore, Sam Worthington? Last Picture Show, and this is Sybil Shepherd. That was the girl. Sybil Shepherd, back in the day. Jeff Bridges. This is the premium HMV collection, number 60 from 1971. Sybil Shepherd. The Last Samurai. A brilliant Tom Cruise film. He's everybody going, oh, it's The Last Samurai. He's not The Last Samurai. He's not. He's talked by the last of the samurai, I believe. It's just a great film, and to think he did all the fighting scenes himself with the choreography. The man's a machine. He really is. It's quite a long film. It's 148 minutes, but worth every minute. Great movie. The Last Song. I don't think I've seen this one. Miley Cyrus, Greg Kinnear, Liam Hemsworth. Not seen it. Last Stand. This is once old Arnie quit doing his politics and he came back to acting. I think this is the first one. Was it this one or the Sabotage? I think it was this one. And this is a really fun movie. It's got Johnny Knoxville in this as well. Forrest Whitaker, who's kind of underused in this. But it's about a sheriff. His name's Owens in this. Sheriff Owens. It's a small little American like dirt town thing, like almost like a thing you see in the Wild West. Just a few shops, a bar, a diner. And this fugitive is on the run, and he's headed towards his town. He has to sort of stop him before he gets to the border, because he's right on the border. Him and his motley crew, and he's really good. Last Starfighter. I picked this up in America. It works fine on UK players. Last Starfighter. The Last Station. This is this cast: Helen Mirren, James McAvoy, Christopher Plummer, Paul Giamatti. Excellent. I think this is about Leo Tolstoy biopic. Last Vegas. Have a sip of that. You look at that cover. Now, considering the cast here, Michael Douglas, Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman, and Kevin Kline, this is not that fantastic a movie. It's kind of like a feel-good film. Apart from they throw in a bit of smut where you got Kevin Kline. His wife's giving him a Viagra or something to go and get his end away. I think it's in this one. Yeah, could have been better. Could have been much better with that cast. Last Witch Hunter. I thought this was a very, very entertaining film. Vin Diesel, just doing what he does best, killing people. But this is just a good film. Elijah Wood. I don't know. I just really like the story, and I hope they make more of these ones, because that would make a good series. Just seeing what else is in it. Elijah Wood, Rose Leslie. I don't know who that is. And Michael Caine. Michael Caine. God bless you, sir. You're in that as well. The Late Quartet. Now this cast, you've got Philip Seymour Hoffman, Christopher Walken, and Catherine Kinnear. I've not seen this one. Just one to be seen. Lavender Hill Mob. Yeah. Now this film has Audrey Hepburn. I'm pretty sure it's either her first role. It's one of her early screen appearances. It says. There you go. Yeah, it's a heist. There's a gold bullion heist, and they sort of turn them into little Eiffel Towers. They got to get them out of the country to France. They melt down the gold, and good film. I'm surprised they haven't remade that. That's from 1951. That film. Studio Canal. Law-abiding citizen. This kind of gets a little bit of hate, but I think this is a really good film. Gerard Butler at his best. He gets revenge. It's a revenge film, and it's a revenge of two. Revenge. His wife and daughter are murdered, and the DA do deal with one of the killers to shop in the other killer. Apparently that's how it works in America. Probably that wouldn't happen in the UK. You'd both be done for it. And so he gets revenge on the bloke who raped and killed his wife in front of him, and also he gets revenge of the DA agent. Well, the whole system, and how he does it from inside prison. It's just a really good film. Watch it. It's good action. But you could argue you can only see it once, because once you've seen how he does it. Lawless, and I've said it before and I said it again. Look at that parting. Only Moses could have parted that hair. Look at it. Guy Pearce. This is a really good film. Shia LaBeouf, Tom Hardy, Gary Oldman, Jessica Chastain, Jason Clarke, and Guy Pearce. It's just really good sort of prohibition type era of lawlessness in the States. Very, very good film. And Guy Pearce plays an absolute arse in it. Really good. Oop. Okay, let's hold it there. Now, I'm pretty sure this has got a release pretty much everywhere, but it didn't when I picked this up. This is The Lawnmower Man. I'm pretty sure it's out now. German release. Don't know why Germany gets all the releases, and a picture disc too. The effects on this are absolutely diabolical now, but at the time this was like, wow. I remember seeing it thinking, wow, this is so good, the effects. Stephen King's based on the Stephen King book. Jeff Farley, who is manipulated by Pierce Brosnan, the scientist, to he's downloaded pretty much into the internet, and well, it is the internet. Well, he isn't at the start. He's just downloaded into a computer and ends up. You've all seen it, I should imagine. It's a good film. Lawrence of Arabia, classic film from 1962. Just brilliant. But the end. Well, I can't really give away the end. But you see the state of him, and he starts off in this white robe, and it's like slowly, and you see why. I can't go without spoiling it. It's a great film. Layer cake. Now, does anybody else have this film as that has happened to the spine? Just the layer remains and the cake is really faded. I don't know. I don't know if that's just my copy. I don't know. But this is an old, one of those old ones from Sony. Has that pattern going through the back. Good movie. Good movie. Daniel Craig's and that. Cole Meany from Star Trek. Michael Gambon. Lady Favour. I saw this at the pictures. Not a great movie, although I did import it all the way from Australia. Joshua Jackson from Fringe. Peter Bishop. Bruce Willis, obviously, and that's the reason I bought it. Really, Bruce Willis, and that's the reason I went and saw it at the cinema. Catherine Zeta-Jones is in this film. It's just not the best film. Not the best film. Laser Team, the director's cut. LBJ. I do like American politics. LBJ. Woody Harrelson. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. This is supposedly an extended cut by Fabulous Films, but I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same because I've watched it. I can't see any difference. But it's advertised as an extended cut. That's all I can say. I really enjoyed that film. Everybody sort of craps on Sean Connery for choosing this as his last movie. I thought it was good. It's a good superhero film. You got the Invisible Man. You got Dorian Gray. Who else is in there? You got Captain Nemo. You know that bloke. Who else have you got in there? You've got Jacqueline Hyde. I'm sure I'm missing someone as well. The Vampire Woman. I forget who she was. League of Their Own. This is such a good Tom Hanks movie, and it's again a great cast. Madonna's in this, Laura Petty, John Lovitch, brilliant. David Stratham, can't think of his name. David, and it's written right in front of me. Stratham. Never mind. Bill Pullman's in this. Gina Davis. It's about the female baseball league, which kind of started, and it's based on a true story as well. When the men went to war, and players were obviously thin on the ground because everybody was at war, and the girls' baseball league took off, and it's really good. And a reluctant Tom Hanks coached them. Just a really good, feel-good, biopic sports movie. Plays straight to me, that does. Leap Year, one of those forgettable rom-coms. I'm just trying to see if I remember anything about it, and I cannot for the life of me. And I would have seen this at the cinema. I know I would have. Leap Year. Leatherheads. This is quite a good thing. It's about the origins of American football, and it's a really good film. Kind of underrated. Not a lot of people talk about it. George Clooney is fun in this, and I'm pretty sure Armie Hammer or someone like that is in this as well. Who picks a fight with, they're all going like the fight, and it's like no hit in the face and things like that. It's a good film. Origins of American football. Now I picked this up in the States as I was at the airport coming home, and I'd got no idea why I did. I think I was just trying to use a bit of spare cash, and I kind of think this should be in the A's. I put it in the L's because it's got Leah to the rescue. But also says American Girl, Leah to the Rescue, so I don't know. I've not seen it since I've had it. Leave No Trace. This was HMV exclusive, Ben Foster. Left Behind. And this is... I'm just going to say it's one of Nicolas Cage's worst movies. God, this annoys me so much. Is acting, although USS Minneapolis, what that is a bad acted film, but this one just takes the biscuit. But it's not so much him that's bad in this; it's the daughter. The story is and it's quite a religious based thing. Was without giving too much away, a load of people just disappear, and they. Like that, like a Thanos kind of thing, but their clothes are left behind. And this girl is hugging her brother in a mall when this happens, and like she's hugging him, and then he's gone. But the clothes are still there, and she's convinced he's ran off. And she goes looking for him. I mean, his clothes is... So within a split second, she assumes this kid has got naked in front of her, put the clothes on her, and then ran off in some direction. Stupid, stupid woman. And anyway, she's looking for him throughout the film. And this has happened to, like, obviously thousands of people. Oh, God. Yeah, oh. But there it is in my collection. Legally Blonde. Yeah, good movie. Good movie. Reese Witherspoon, kind of her early years as sort of the blonde bimbo, supposedly, but she's not, because she goes to Harvard and learns to be a lawyer. Enjoyable film, and they made a sequel, and I need to get the sequel. Legend, and this is a very, very good film with the Cray twins, the story of the Cray twins, and both, as you all know, Tom Hardy's got on there, Tom Hardy and Tom Hardy. What if you got double the salary? Yeah, he's playing Ronnie and Reggie. It's about the gangsters in London, and how they dealt with Jack the Hat McVitie and, you know, the Blind Beggars pub when they did the shootout. Good film, good movie. Jackie Chan, The Legend of Drunken Master. I've not seen this one. No, just haven't seen it. Legend of Hercules. I quite enjoyed this. It's not the best of films. Kellen Lutz, Scott Adkins. Not a lot of people there you're going to recognise, which can actually help a movie, I think. If you've got like Tom Cruise playing, I don't know, King Lear or something, it sort of takes you out a little bit of the movie. But if you've got a load of unknowns playing these big characters, then I think that helps. Legends of the Guardian, the Owls of Ga'Hoole in 3D. This cost me £20 second hand. Ages ago, years ago, I bought this, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. Great 3D. The Legend of Tarzan in 3D. This is 3D in this is absolutely brilliant, and I quite enjoyed this story. Who's in it? We've got Alexander Skarsgård, Samuel Jackson. He's funny in this, I remember. Yeah. Margot Robbie is in this, and Jimmun Hunsu. However you pronounce that, and Jim Broadbent. Christopher Waltz is in this too, but this is a really good. If you get fed up with Tarzan, just have a drink. Have a look at that site. If you get fed up with the Tarzan story, I think you still enjoy this. This is just really good, really well done. Good action, good sequences, good story. Legend of the Fall. I did have that on the German Blu-ray, so I should probably send that to somebody. Yeah, Legend of the Fall. Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins, Aidan Quinn, underrated actor. This is 1994, number 29 of the HMV Premium Collection. Legend of Zorro. I do have the other Zorro film. Have I already shown that? There's another Zorro film. That should be with it, really. Antonio Banderas, born to play Zorro. I think he was having too much fun playing it. Catherine Zeta-Jones and Anthony Hopkins, I think, is in either this one or the other one. I think he's in the other one. Rufus Sewell's in this one. Yeah, he's having too much fun in that. Legion. I think this came free with another film. I'm pretty sure it did. Paul Bettany. I think this was in 3D. I'm pretty sure that was in 3D. I'm thinking of Priest. Probably Priest. And then on to Lego movies. Lego movie in 3D. Oh, I love this. The humour of this. And it doesn't appeal to everybody because my wife hates this film. Her brother hates this film. I think it's really good. The humour, the Gandalf characters, the Batman, the Spider-Man, the Superman, not Spider-Man, Superman. Just voiced funny, and everything is awesome. 3D is really good in this as well. Let's pause it. Okay, so the next Lego movie is a Lego Batman film, and I've not seen this one. Heard the 3D is good. But I'm a bit behind on the new Batman, Lego-y, and all the other Lego films. So there's that one I've got to watch. And I've got to watch the Lego Ninjago movie in 3D. And there's another Lego film out as well, so I need to catch up with them. I've heard the 3D is really good on them now. Lemony Snicket's and a series of unfortunate events. Really good film. Kind of dark humour. Jim Carrey at his best. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I just like the look of this film. The sort of the colour tones and everything. Very, very good. Leon, also known as Leon the Professional, Luc Besson. What's her name? Natalie Portman. I think this was her first movie. She's only like 12 in it. And Jay Reno, Jean Reno, Jean, Jean Reno. I'm going to call him Jean. Yeah, very, very good. Very, very good. It's a story of a girl, if you don't know this, and her family is killed, wiped out completely by a corrupt officer, played brilliantly by Gary Oldman. Just one of his best roles that he's ever done. And her, as I say, her family is wiped out. She's on her way home with the groceries, and she knocks on her neighbour's door. She will walk past the blood scene. She knows that if she sort of turns into, she's going to be killed as well. She turns into the house, she's going to be killed by these people. So she knocks on the door of her neighbour, and he lets her in, and he protects her, starts up like a relationship of sorts. Bear in mind she's only like 12, and he teaches her to become an assassin. And what a final to this film, the finale. It's just brilliant. Brilliant cinematography, just excellent. Anyway, yes, lesbian vampire killers, and they've crossed out. Well, they've put like a warning sticker over the word lesbian, but kept it on the spine, which is odd. Les Miserables stole a loaf of bread. Yeah, I know. I saw this at the cinema. My daughter walked out halfway through, and I didn't. She had to stay in because it's like 3 hours long. I swear it is. She stayed in the foyer for like an hour and a half waiting for me to come out. Must have been. Where's the run time? 2.5 hours. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Really good. To the barricades. Anyway, Leisure Seekers didn't get a UK release. I don't know why. Donald Sutherland, Helen Mirren. You think some of the crap that comes out, and this doesn't. It just beggars belief. Who decides what comes out in the UK? Is it put to like a focus group? Oh no, nobody's going to buy that. Annoying. Lessons in Love. Pierce Brosnan, Salma Hayek, Jessica Alba. You take out Jessica Alba and put in Woody Harrelson, you got the cast to After the Sunset. Lethal Weapon. This is the collection, and in it you have number 1. Let's put it like this, and they go in order of preference as well. Number 1, brilliant film, absolutely brilliant. You got Mel Gibson on the edge, almost like, well, he is suicidal, and he's assigned a new partner, Danny Glover, and the chemistry is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's kind of like a Christmas. Well, I say it's set around Christmas, and it's not really a Christmassy film, although it's a shootout in a Christmas tree lot. And anyway, I'm digressing. Number 2, pretty good. You got Patsy Kensit in that, and Josh Ackland. Diplomatic immunity. Sorry about the impressions. Number 3, I'm pretty sure that's the one where Joe Pesci comes into it, and then it's Daniel, number 4. Yeah. Joe Pesci, Leo Getz, he played in that, and he's bloody annoying. Let Me In. This is the vampire film. I'm just trying to, is this the one? Or is this the one with... should be that one. Let the Right One In, and then Let Me In. I think this was a remake of this with Chloe Grace Moretz. Now, Flags of a Father. I was talking about that film earlier. Clint Eastwood directed film, and it was two sides of the Iwo Jima conflict. And this was the second half that he made. I need to watch this one because I've watched the first one and I need to see the second part. Although, to be fair, now I need to watch the first one again because it's been so long. Great concept of doing a war film from both sides as a separate film. Very, very good. Letters to Juliet. This it's kind of like a rom-com of such, but Amanda Seyfried, if you really watch this film and see her character, she's an absolute cow in this for what she does. Don't sympathise with her at all. Let's Be Cops. Funny film. Two guys have an idea of they go to, I think they're pretty sure they go to a fancy dress or something, dressed as police officers, and everybody believes them, and they think, well, let's take it to the next level and sort of just start cruising around town in this American police car, and sort of, I don't know, sort of just where it leads from there. It's funny, very, very funny. The leveling. Level Up. I need to plow through these because this is going to be forever, this video. Le Weekend. Oh, Jim Broadbent and Jeff Goldblum's in that. Got there in the end. Liar Liar. Jim Carrey at his sort of peak. Very funny. And the outtakes. I think the outtakes play in the credits. Just really funny. The Claw. It's a good film. It's a good film. License to Wed. Robin Williams. Not in it enough. He has like a little psychic in this. I can't think what the little kid's name is. But it's a decent enough comedy. Who else is in this? Can't see anybody I recognise. Mandy Moore. Life. This was surprising and kind of predictable at the same time. It's your run-of-the-mill sort of scientists go up in space, find an organism. The organism grows and decides to kill everything in sight. That kind of scenario. But who it kills, how it kills, and the ending is quite an ending. I'm just going to say that it's quite a good ending. I'm not going to say anything about it. Life. Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence. And this is quite a long film, but it's very, very good. It's now in 48 minutes for what it is. Kind of like, to me, it's similar to Papillon in some respects. It's sort of that era as well, but it's about living in prison in America in like the early day. I'm trying to think if it's got a date on this. There's no. The date it was set is not the date that it was released. No, I'm pretty sure it's like the 20s. I'm pretty sure it's 20s, 30s, around about that sort of time. It's really good. Living on the sort of chain gang, things like that. It's good. Life After Beth. No, it's not the one I'm thinking of. I don't think I've seen this one. Aubrey Plaza, John C. Reilly. Oh no, I've not seen that one. Life After Beth. Life Aquatic. Now this is a film. This was a good vehicle, I thought, for Bill Murray. And it's got quite a cast in this as well. This is Michael Gambon again, Jeff Goldblum, William Dafoe, Angelica Houston, Kate Blanchett, Owen Wilson, Bill Murray. Good vehicle, as I said, for Bill Murray. And I was looking through this earlier, and you've got like a cast credits and cast and crew, and a little bit of story. Does anybody remember in DVDs used to get chapter lists? I really miss the chapter lists. Put chapter lists back in Blu-rays. I used to like that. That's a Criterion Collection and video thing, where the case goes right to, and the picture goes right to the top. Katherine Heigl, Life as We Know It. Quite a forgettable film, that one. The Life Before Her Eyes, and this I found in a second-hand shop in Brighton, and it looks like it's an American release. I've not seen it. Rachel Evan Wood and Uma Thurman, so I thought I'd give that a go. Lifeboat, Alfred Hitchcock, great release this one. Very atmospheric. It's quite a nice release. This is a Eureka release, and you get like a little book. Oop, a little book with it. Well, quite a big book actually. Booklet. When does a book become a booklet? That, and you get a shed load of extras. Life Happens. This was an Australian import. I went through a phase where I imported like I think 20 Australian films, and this was one of them. And I can't think. I must have seen a trailer. Must have, because I can't remember anything about this. Or who's in it. Who is in it? It's Kate Bosworth, Jason Biggs, Christian Johnson. See, there's nobody in it I would actually buy a film for, so I must have seen the trailer. So I'm going to have to check the trailer out again and see what made me drawn to that film. Stop it there for a sec. Good Lord, there are still 3 piles of films to go, so let's crack on. Life of Crime, Jennifer Aniston, Isla Fisher, Tim Robbins. Great cast in that movie. The Life of David Gale, Kevin Spacey again, Kate Winslet, Laura Linney, about a guy on, is it on death row? I'm pretty sure it is, and I'm pretty sure this is a true story. It's about a murder of an activist. Life of Pi, 3D, great 3D, just a beautiful looking film. Life of the Pi, oh God, I saw this the other day. This was so funny. Whether you, I don't know, people don't like Melissa McCarthy. Why? Why don't you like her? She's just so funny, just so funny. I know she's like kind of like the same person in every film, but then I thought that was so funny. It's like a woman. She gets a daughter goes off to college. Her husband says on the way home from college, you know, I want a divorce. Now the kids moved out, and he's dating some young woman. Well, not so young, not that young really. He's dating some woman. So she goes back to university, same university her daughter's at, or college or whatever it is, and it's just about her being accepted and fitting in with the girls and moving on with her life. It's just a really funny film. Der Strom. This is Life on the Line. So it should be before that one. Yeah, Life on the Line, and this is a good film. It's a biopic, true story. John Travolta, and it's about these people that work the electricity lines, I think, and it's just if you see this, at the end they do like a little story of like the real people that do this job, and it's like the class is the most dangerous job in the world. I'm pretty sure it is, and it's just like you sort of unrecognised heroes. Great film, good John Travolta film. Lights Out. This comes with a nice slip now, apparently. James Wan, he's a good director of horror films. Light Between the Oceans, and I'm not sure if this is the one where they find the little child sort of washed up in a basket. Am I thinking they're the same film? In Adrift in a Boat, that was it, yeah. Alicia Vikander and Michael Fassbender. Aren't they married now, those two? Must have met on that film. Lilo and Stitch. This is number 41 of the Disney classics. One of my least favourite. Not as bad as Bambi, I'll give you that. Limehouse Golem. This is an unusual one. The Limehouse is an area in London, like a theatre district area, and Golem, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't that bloke look like kind of like a Freddie Mercury or Rami Malek look-alike? Anyway, yeah, it's about a murderer that's a bit like a Jack the Ripper kind of thing, and he's murdering people in the Limehouse area. Good film, and it's set around about the same sort of time as Jack the Ripper as well, in Victorian England. I just like the look of that. I think that's a really good film. And you've got Bill Nighy, and if you look at Bill Nighy, these 3 fingers of his on both hands, he doesn't have tendons that allow him to do that. So you look at his hands, he's always got his fingers like this. A bit of info for you. Limitless. I love this film. Absolutely love it. Bradley Cooper. He's like a down and out just a loser, and some guy gives him a pill there, and it recognises his full potential, like 100% of his brain, every memory he's ever had. He can adapt. You know, he can. If there's a fight, he remember every single fight scene he's ever seen on TV, and he can adapt it to his like use, that sort of thing. And he wants more of these pills, and if you come off these pills, it's deadly. So he has to find a way to keep taking these. But it's really good, and a good ending, good surprise ending. Look for the alternate ending as well. It's good in that. One of my favourite films, Daniel Day-Lewis, just a brilliant biopic of Abraham Lincoln. Just amazingly acted, absolutely breathtakingly told by Steven Spielberg. The cast, the film, just the whole thing, I love it from start to finish. It's quite a long film, it's 144 minutes, but worth the investment. Lincoln Lawyer, saw this at cinema. Pretty good film. Matthew McConaughey as a lawyer. Good film. Lion, this is one of those heartstring films. You got Dev Patel is a young Indian fella, and well, it starts off as a kid. He's on this. He's like one of the poor children living in the ghettos of not even a ghetto, is it? Like just like on the street with his brother, and they get on the train, or they get separated, and one's on the train and one isn't. And Dev Patel's character, who's one of the boys on the train, he goes off and he's lost his brother, and so that's it, they're separated. Anyway, cut to years later, he's grown up with Nicole Kidman as like a stepmother who's taken him in, and he wants to go on his memories. He's got like fragmented memories of where he came from. He decides to go and try and find his real family, and it's just heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time. It is time. Yes, The Lion King 3D. Great 3D on this. Had to upgrade. This is number 32 in the classics. Great, and obviously they're making the live adaptation, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Lions for Lambs. This had a US release like for years now, but it was region locked, so I had to wait until another country popped it out. And guess who did it? Germany. You get all the good films, but I don't mind because I end up getting them anyway. Lions for Lambs. Not one of Tom Cruise's best films. Despite the cast, Tom Cruise, Robert Redford, Meryl Streep. This is like a political thing. There's like an interview going on. There's a little bit of action as well of these Marines being sent on a mission. I'm looking at the back, but it's all in German. I'm just trying to think who else is in it. Michael Pena's in it. Andrew Garfield is in this. Peter Berg, primarily known for directing. Did the Battleship. He did the one with the Mark Wahlberg thing with the oil rig blew up. What's that one called? That's gonna bug me. Little Big Man. Now this is a movie. I saw this back in the, when was it? 80s? 70? No. It must have been early 80s. It doesn't say. It says that he got his acting Oscar in 79. I don't know. I'm going to say early 80s. Must be. But anyway, I'm digressing. Dustin Hoffman plays an Indian. Now, you wouldn't get that today. He plays his chief, who's 121 years old, and he's been interviewed, and he's sort of looking back of his days, back with his friendship with Wild Bill Hickok, and you know, when he was like an Indian chief, and his marriages and stuff like that. It's a really good sort of looking back film, one of those sort of retrospective films. Hindsight. Little Boy. That was an American pickup. Little Caesar. Yes, Edward G. Robinson Douglas Fairbanks Jr. This is number 36 from 1931, the HMV Premium Collection. Little Mermaid, number 28 of the Disney Collection. One of my kids' favourites because I sort of grew up around about that time. Great songs in that. The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane. Isn't that a creepy title with a creepy cover? I've not seen it, but I'm sure it is a creepy film. I bought this because it's Martin Sheen and Jodie Foster. I can't recognise any of the other names. Little Miss Sunshine, cult classic now. Kind of put Steve Carell on the map, I think. Alan Arkin, brilliant in this. I've known Alan Arkin, well, not personally, but in films right from the 70s when he did that Russians Are Coming. Just a good film, that is. Greg Kinnear, Paul Dano, great cast. Abigail Breslin, I think this is one of her first films. I know she was in a TV show NCIS, played a little blind girl. Little Murders, I think this was made into a TV show. I'm pretty sure it is. Josh Lucas, Little Murders. American release, $7.99 I paid for this. Stick and stay on there. Little Rascals. And then the sequel, The Little Rascals Save the Day. Little Shop of Horrors. This is a HMV exclusive. Number 9, 1986. Feed Me Seymour. Great film. Great everything about that film. I love the songs, characters, the dentist. The dentist. Yeah, brilliant. Let's pause it now. Good Lord, this is going on forever. Lizzie, the story of Lizzie Bowen. Is it Lizzie? Oh, Lizzie Borden, the axe murderer. It's a recent pickup. Lobster, odd story, really odd. Colin Farrell, Rachel Weisz. Hurry up and choose a partner, or you will turn into a lobster. Loch Ness. I've only ever seen this in one other person's collection, and apologies, I can't remember who you were. Ted Danson, Ian Holm, Jolie Richardson. Wasn't she married to Liam Neeson? I'm pretty sure she was. This is an import, and I'm pretty sure it's from Scandinavia. DVD and Blu-ray. Kind of a rom-com sort of mystery kind of thing. It's Ted Danson falling in love with Jolie Richardson. You've seen it 1,000 times. He goes to report on something. She takes him sort of into her heart and family, and somehow he betrays them, and all comes good. One of those kind of films. A bit like the Fisherman Friends film that's coming out soon. Anyway, Lockout. I love this film. I think this is really sort of over the top. Maggie Grace is, I'm pretty sure she's like the first daughter, as they say, the president's daughter, and she's up visiting some kind of space prison, and it all goes tits up, and so to speak. But they don't know, the prisoners, they don't know who she is. They're all like high offending criminals. So Guy Pearce is sent to go out there and rescue her. It's something Snow, his name in this. Doesn't say. Really good action. Guy Pearce, he was born to play this. He's just really quippy and funny. But there's one scene in this, and it's the effects are so ropey. It's like a really bad computer game from the like 90s. It's when he's riding his motorbike, and it's just it's awful. Take that out of the film. It's really good. Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. This is kind of the film that got Jason Statham up and running. Good film. Vin Diesel. Not Vin Diesel. What's his name? Vinnie Jones. Vin Diesel. Behave yourself. Lock Up. Good film. Stallone. It's of its time again. Somebody put in prison. Bent Warden, who's played by Donald Sutherland, and just Stallone overcoming the odds. Logan. Thought this was really good, and it's got, who's that guy? Steve Merchant. Yeah, he's in this. Steve Merchant, bald, tall, creepy looking bloke, but Usually very funny. Patrick Stewart. Logan at the end of his time. Lucky Logan. Yeah, I saw this one recently. Well, I say recently, about 6 months ago. Good film. Paul Dano. It's funny. It's fun. It's a heist movie, and it's kind of gritty, which I like. Not like these big glamorous, everything planned. Clearly, nothing is planned in that one. Well, yeah, it is planned. It's written down and put on the fridge, if I remember. London Has Fallen. This one and Olympus Has Fallen. Love them. Just love them. I think this is really good. Gerard Butler, Aaron Eckhart, and Morgan Freeman. This is the second one. It's a sequel. I'm pretty sure there's a third one called Angels Have Fallen or something. That's being filmed or it's going to come out soon. Yeah, good movie and good scene with the SAS at the end. Very good. Hey, cat. I've got a cat. I've got 2 dogs and a cat. Foxy. Yeah. See if I can pick you up. Come here. No, I got rid of you, didn't it? Just a bit nervous. Logan's Run. A very good sci-fi film. Come here, girl. There she is. Yeah, you're purring, aren't you? Go on, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, good sci-fi film. In Time was kind of like a remake, but not at the same time. If you saw this, you understand why. You get to 30 years and then you get hunted down and killed if you don't die willingly. Anyway, it's quite dated. Well, obviously it's dated. It's from the 70s, 76. But it's a good film. It's a good sci-fi film. This is number 6 from 1976 for the HMV Premium line. It's a good movie. And it's got Jenny Agutter in this from the Railway Children, or you might know her from Call the Midwives now. London Boulevard. Keira Knightley. Lone Ranger. A lot of people hated on this film. Johnny Depp is pretty much Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, but with a dead crow on his head. I kind of enjoyed this film now. I love it, and the when they're on the train and the music starts, it's a good film. I enjoyed this, and it's quite a long film again, 149 minutes, but it's a good old-fashioned romp. Let's just say that. Arnie Hammer is in that. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Good film, Disney movie. Lonely Place to Die. I've had this for a long time, and I've still not seen it. I probably thought Ed Harris was in this, but you got Ed Spielers and Sean Harris. Well, Sean Harris is a good actor. Lonely Place to Die. Lone Survivor, very good. Oh, I think Peter Berg directed this. Oh, what was that film with? Something Horizon. Deepwater Horizon. Sorry, if any of you was typing it in, there you got to erase it. Yeah, Lone Survivor. This is a cool film. It's based on a true story, the Harrows of War, and these 4 guys. They're sent on a mission, and they're kind of stuffed because they're surrounded in the Afghan mountains. It's about getting out and it says it all on a lone survivor. And Mark Wahlberg's probably the only one that's recognisable. Oh, Ben Foster's Taylor Kish. Oh, Taylor Kish is good in that as well. Yeah, good film. Good film. Long Kiss Goodnight. Funny as hell. Oh, so funny. When they're in the car together, and he's saying, and she said, "You thinking what I'm thinking?" And he says, "I hope not, because I'm thinking how much my balls are hurting," because he got kicked in the nuts. Yeah, it's just a really funny film. Funny, but it's violent, it's action-packed. It's about Gina Davis. She got amnesia, so she's living a life as a school teacher, but then she starts getting her memory back, and the world she was associated with, assassins and things like that. It's a good film. Very good film. In fact, quite Christmassy in places as well. The Look of Love. Steve Coogan plays... doesn't he play like... Oh, Property Baron. That was it. Yeah, I thought he was like a porn industry or something like that, but it's not. No, no, Property Baron. Thinking of a different film. Looper, a very good sci-fi film, time travel. Yeah, and Gordon. I say call him Gordon Joseph Levitt. It's not. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays a young Bruce Willis in this, and how they did it with the prosthetic nose. It's just really good. And the young kid, my God, that young kid, creepy as hell. Lorax, funny film. I need to get that in 3D. Danny DeVito does the voice of the Lorax. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. Lord of War. Nicolas Cage. Loser with Woody Harrelson. I think that's 3D. Thought it was. Losers. Again, you've got Chris Evans with superpowers. Now he's done that. He's done the Fantastic Four and obviously Captain America. Has he played the most superheroes in any film? I don't know. Good film, this one. Superpowers are sort of a bit less than average. Well, not less than average in their abilities, but sort of odd. For instance, it's been more like X-Men superpowers. Like it could be hit and miss. There's a girl that can scream really loud and like make you sort of hold your ears and be on the floor, like, because you can't do anything. It immobilizes you that way. You got some people that can sort of tell the future slightly through drawings. You know, it's not like the best superpowers. Lost Horizons, number 50 from 1937. Ooh, the HMV line. I need a drink to do 2 more and get a quick drink. Lost City of Z or Z. I ain't mapped that one yet. Yeah. It's supposed to be very, very long. I was in a shop the other day. They had this on TV. And it does look good. 141 minutes. Just finding the time. Lost in Space. I saw this at the cinema. Matt LeBlanc. I think this is I'm pretty sure it's the only film he's done at the Friends cast. You know, and I quite like this. It's good. You got John Hurt, who has absolutely William Hurt, no personality whatsoever in this. Gary Oldman, a great villain. The young kid, he's alright. The girl is annoying as hell. What's the story of her? I don't know. She probably looks back and cringes. And my God, that little monkey thing. Who did that? Whoever did that should be taken outside and, taken outside. Let's just put it that way. Because that CGI on that monkey in this film is awful. Awful. It's got build-in the special effects. There are probably quite a few special effects. The start bit with the little space machine things when he sort of knocks one to the other. That's good. If you've seen the start, you know what I'm talking about. The monkey should be taken out and re-CGI'd if they can do that, and then put back in. Lost in Translation. Scarlett Johansson in this is perfect. And Bill Murray. Great film for Bill Murray. Just really plays on his personality. Look at that sad sod. Really good. Okay, let's pause it there, get a drink, and on to the last pile. Okay, last pile, and it is starting off with Loops and Garros, a animated movie. Great animation. Look at that animation. Just see it from that. Very atmospheric. Love Actually. This is probably one of the best rom-coms. Written and directed by Richard Curtis, and the cast, you got Hugh Grant, Colin Firth, Emma Thompson, Keira Knightley, Bill Nighy, Rowan Atkinson, Martine McCutcheon. If you don't know her, she used to be in a soap called EastEnders a long time ago, and I think she's only done this. Alan Rickman, Laura Linney, Liam Neeson. Now, go back to Martina McCutcheon. She is in a relationship with Hugh Grant, who plays the Prime Minister in the UK. Alan Rickman married to Emma Thompson. it's just a really good. It's like intertwining stories set around Christmas, and it's just one of those really feel good films. There's a young kid in this. Played. He's Liam Neeson's son. I can't think who he is. His name. I'm pretty sure he was in the Maze Runner films. Just a really good feel good Christmassy film. Love and Basketball. Love and Other Impossible Pursuits, Natalie Portman. This is based on Jane Austen novella Lady Susan. It's Kate Beckinsale, and she's always good in these kinds of films. Stephen Fry's in this as well. Check out the trailer. Do it. Okay, Love and Mercy. This is John Cusack. That's the main reason I bought this, but it's got a good cast. Paul Dano is in this one. Elizabeth Banks and Paul Giamatti. I think there's who else is no, it doesn't say who else is in there. I'm pretty sure there's someone else who's quite famous in that, but there you go. That's Love and Mercy. For Love and Money. For Love or Money. This used to be when it was on DVD in the UK. I don't know if it's the same in the States or we've taken the States title for this, but it used to be called The Concierge. And I don't with this and Secret of My Success, who's put these out? Is it Fabulous Films? Universal? Just Universal. They have chosen some ugly covers for these two films. This one's an awful cover. Secret of My Success, you'll see when I get to the S's. This is a pretty decent movie. It's not one of his best, but Michael J. Fox, you've got to take what you can of his because of his unfortunate disease, Parkinson's. The Love Guru, Mike Myers. Love Happens. Oh, we're in the love section, are we? Yeah, Love Happens. Jennifer Aniston, Aaron Eckhart. Lovelace. This is a story of. It's about the porn star Linda Lovelace. From 1972, before the internet, before the explosion of the adult film industry. Linda Lovelace is the story of her, and it's played by Amanda Seyfried. Quite unusual for her to play that sort of thing, I thought. Lovely Bones with Stanley. Now his name's Stanley. People say Tucci. I say Tucci. Stanley Tucci. Stanley Tucci. But apparently it's Stanley Tucci, and a great role for him. He's got a wig on. Can't really give away. He's not a likable character. Story of Mark Wahlberg, Rachel Weisz. They have a daughter played by Susan Sarandon's the grandmother. The girl in it's Saoirse Ronan, her again. This girl, she is murdered and more than likely raped by a bloody paedophile, played brilliantly by Stanley Tucci, or Tucci, what you want to call it. And it's it's about how the family deal with it. It's kind of spiritual in a way, because you see she's sort of still there in a sort of spiritual sense, and she's trying to solve what happened to her, because Stanley Tucci is like a prolific killer, just really good. And there's a nice bit of I can't say I'm giving the ending away then. Watch it, it's really good. It's quite a long film too. How long is it? Well, 3 hours of special features, 135 minutes, so just a little bit over 2 hours. Directed by Pete Jackson, or is it? Directed. Screenplay is by Peter Jackson. Who directed the thing? I don't think it actually said on there who directed it. Based on a novel, produced by, screenplay by, exclusive producers. Doesn't actually say who directed it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's Peter Jackson, but I'm probably wrong. Good movie. Very, very good. A lot of special effects on that as well. Special effects. Well, there is special effects. A lot of extras, I meant to say. Loving. Yeah, this is Joel Edgerton and Ruth Negga, and it's she plays Mildred Loving and he plays Richard Loving. They're a married couple, but it's about what they call it, into something. We're going to say on this, interracial relationships. When a black woman marrying a white man, it was unheard of, ridiculously, and sort of time when it was frowned upon and possibly illegal, and it's just absolutely ridiculous times that we lived in. So it's a story of that. It's based on a true story, which makes it even more bloody compelling. It's unbelievable times we lived through. Awful, stupid times. The Love Punch. Pierce Brosnan, Emma Thompson, Timothy Spall. Great cast. Love Rosie. There's something loose in there. Little bits of plastic falling off these discs. Off the case. Yes, Love Rosie. Lily Collins. Lily Collins, wasn't she in Mirror Mirror? I'm pretty sure she was. Love the Coopers. This was a German import Christmas film. It's about like a family coming together at Christmas, and there's like obviously with every family there's like history with family. Sort of some people don't get on, and it's just all about that, people to come together and solving their differences. But listen to the cast. You've got Alan Arkin, who we saw before in God, what was that film called? Well, he was in Russians Are Coming, and other things, Las Vegas, and anyway, Alan Arkin and John Goodman, great actor. Ed Helms, he's funny enough. Diane Keaton, often worked with Woody Allen. Amanda Seyfried, Marissa Tomei, Oscar-winning Marissa Tomei, and Olivia Wilde. Great cast. It's just that the story doesn't really do anything, doesn't really go anywhere. It's quite dull. But there you go. I thought it was a missed opportunity. But there you go. That's that. That's Love the Coopers. Did get a DVD release in the UK, but not Blu-ray. Harry Dean Stanton, great actor in Lucky. This was a Eureka release, and with Eureka you get, as well as the film, you get a nice pamphlet-y booklet thing. Great. I'm pretty sure it was his last film, but I could be wrong. Lucky number 11. This is Josh Hartnett, Morgan Freeman, Bruce Willis, Stanley Tucci, Lucy Liu, and Sir Ben Kingsley. Oh God, he's put Sir on there. Just put Ben Kingsley. We know who you are. Yeah, it's not the best film, but it's pretty good. It's quite action packed. Sort of didn't really gel with me much, but it's decent enough. Yeah, it's a good for Bruce Willis film. Lucky one. I've not seen that one. And the last on the long list. Now, before I get to this, we got the M's next, and the M's, I think there's like looking at them over there, you got probably near 300, so that's going to be a long one. I suggest you get yourself a cup of tea ready for that one, and a biscuit. And when we get to the S's, you'll need more than a cup of tea. You'll need a shot of whiskey or something, because there's probably about 500 S's at least. Anyway, the last one, Lucy. Scarlett Johansson, Morgan Freeman. About a woman who is like a drug mule, unwittingly a drug mule. They force her to have these pills sewn inside of her. She's kicked about by these people that do it. The bag splits inside of her. The chemicals released, but the chemical has some sort of effect on her. Let's just say like that film earlier, Limitless, where she uses like 100% of her body, of her brain and stuff. But it goes a little bit further than that. she uses not like 100% of her memories, but 100% of her actual brain. So she starts using like telekinesis and things like this, and changing her appearance just on a whim, and downloading herself into the internet. So she's just absolutely like the ultimate superhero. So maybe she played Black Widow. Now she's playing this one. Maybe she's getting there with what's the name, Captain America for superheroes. But this is a really good film. Morgan Freeman plays like this professor who kind of helps her, and she helps him sort of understand the situation she's in and what he doesn't know, because he's like the leading guy in his field, but she knows so much more than him, so she helps him out. Really good film, good action, good bit of sci-fi, great effects I thought, and some people don't like the ending, but I did. So that's it. That is the L's. Woo! Got through them. As I said, the M's are next. Got a lot going on next week, so I'll try and film it next week. It's going to take me forever, and probably about 3 or 4 GoPro batteries dead. Need to recharge that one. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment. Leave any recommendations. I do take note. I've got them all written down over the weeks, and give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, it's free, and next time get yourself a nice cup of tea and some snacks, because it's going to be a long one. See you next time. Bye bye.